Hello folks, Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. Today is May 12th and it's about 7:30 in the morning. And I got my smoker lit, but that's about all I've got done. I'm sitting here in the bee yard looking at all the work I got to do and watching the sun slowly work from the far end of the bee yard this direction and thinking, boy, I've got my work cut out for me today. Besides the bees, at the least farm up the road, we're calving. So between the bees and the calving, it's just crazy days right now. We went from being cold and having little to do each day besides, a few farm chores, to, wow, I can't keep up. So let me flip you around here and show you what I'm up against today. So today I've got 18 colonies here in the yard to go through and inspect. 2 of those colonies are Stan and Sue down there. I made splits from just last week, and I actually took the mated queen, and one of them is here in this box straight in front of us in the second row. And she's in there with a couple frames of her bees. And then I left all the resources in each one of those back there for them to raise their own queen. So I want to make sure that they've got queen cells today. WalkAway Splits, folks. They're a big roll of the dice. Normally, I would have virgin queens to give each one, but queen orders are taking all of those, so I'm not able to take from that to take my own resources and give them a queen cell or a virgin of my own. So I did a walkaway, and we'll see today whether they took those resources and did what they should have or not. I've got some other colonies here to go through and just make sure the health of them is on the right track and everybody's doing as they should. So without any further delay, I guess I should probably get started. You can see the sun down there on the far end of the bee yard, and as it comes up over the trees here behind me, it's going to start to light up this whole bee yard. Then it's going to get hot and sweaty, and gosh, it's making me tired. Anyway, we better get started. So this would be Sue, and we'll go ahead and dive in there first. You girls good? Did you make a new mommy? Are you making a new mommy in there? Let's see. Now, as I stated in last week's video, I don't wear a full suit, and it's not very often that I wear my vented jacket. I just like this slip-on veil. What I like to do though is put a little smoke on my hands and on my arms to make them less attractive to the bees. So let's see which one has the less bees on it. I'm going to say this side. Keep your fingers crossed we find queen cells, folks. Time will tell. Here we go. Frame number 1 on Sue. Lots of nectar. All that wet nectar. So I'm going to set this frame off to the side. Let's rub it back and forth a little bit here, get the bees to move from the bottom of the frame. There we go. So now we can work our way across. All right, get yourself a GoPro, folks. Right when you go to get started, it'll let you down and say the battery's dead. So that's what happened. I had to run in and get another battery, even though that one said it was full before I started. So anyway, the life of a videographer. Don't be jumping up. Stay down there and be good. Nobody likes jumpy bees. Okay, so let's check out this frame. Lots of nectar. That's one thing about queenless colonies. They are crazy, crazy hot on bringing in nectar. I've noticed that for years. Hopefully, we'll find the queen cell here real soon. I don't know if that's their rendition of a queen cell right there. Everything's capped though. Now let's check this last one. Even though they don't act real happy to see me. Did take their mom away though. You be happy to see me? Got that little patch of brood and the rest of it is completely packed with nectar. And there is my queen cells. We've got one here. See if we can get the girls off of it for a second. Right there's one. They're trying to raise another one right next to it. And down here I've seen another one. Right there would be one. They've got a couple over here. Right there. Let me smoke the bees away and you can see them a little better. There. See them queen cells? Now that's what we want to see. So they've got plenty of food. Something about queenless colonies, I don't know. It's like they take all of their time. They don't have a queen, they don't have brood to raise. Well, in this case they had a little bit, but once it gets capped, all they gotta do is keep it warm. The temperatures are warm outside, less bees taken to do that. So it's like all the other bees go full bore on bringing in nectar. Give them another puff. They're awful jumpy. So it does look like we are on the right track with Sioux, the original Sioux colony. Close them back up and we'll go down and check Stan. Okay, so hopefully bees in Stan aren't quite as jumpy as in Sioux. It doesn't look like quite the population as Sioux, but there's still a decent number of bees in here. We'll start on this outside frame. It's got less population on it, so it'll make it easier to remove the first frame without dragging any bees, scraping any bees on the next frame or side of the box. Beautiful. This was a bare frame of Pagmr Foundation when I stuck it in there last week. Plugged up with nectar. There again, I'll slide it back and forth, get the bees to move off the frame, rest it down on my hive stand, and we'll keep right on chugging along. Bees aren't quite as jumpy in this hive. Another new sheet of Pagmr Foundation. Starting to draw it out. We'll set that back in there. Yeah, definitely less population in this colony compared to Sioux. Another new sheet, Pagmr Foundation. They're starting to draw wax on it. It's a good thing. Okay, we got this frame and the next frame to hope that there's queen cells on. None there. Boy, this frame is heavy. And I'm not necessarily seeing any there. A little bit of brood in the middle. The rest of it's capped, or is wet nectar, waiting to be capped. Go lay down, ladybug. Go. Go lay down. I don't want to see them take their frustrations of me working them out on ladybug. She doesn't need that. Be all miserable and hot the rest of the day. Okay. I found some queen cells. We are in good shape, folks. Let me get my smoker here and I'll show you them. See the queen cells? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are in good shape. So in this case, 2 WalkAway splits have worked out pretty good to this point. Does that mean I should start counting my hatched eggs? No. Because what can happen? Let me tell you. That queen, any of those queen cells, could emerge, kill the rest of them, and then that one could go on her mating flight and not return. So, no, I'm not out of the woods yet. She could go on her mating flight, get mated on her way back, get hit by a Toyota and be stuck on the windshield, dead. You just never know. So don't count your eggs before they hatch. Get down there off the lid. Now close your ass in there. Actually, I better flip this over. Because what they'll do is they'll use that extra space to draw burr comb in there, and I don't need burr comb. Okay, so we'll put the brick back across, just like this. Now, if it was a queen in there and she was laying, what I would do is turn it that way. This tells me work in progress. They have a queen, or they have queen cell, but no queen. No mated queen, no eggs, is what the brick tells me going this direction. So while inspecting this one, I found only drone brood, no worker brood at all. So what we have here is a queen that's gone bad. She is only laying drones. So my options are to let her keep laying drones, which is really not beneficial at all for a bee colony. It'll pretty much work its way till falling on its face and dying. Or take this queen out, give her the hive tool test, which is basically taking the hive tool and smashing her, and then trying to find another frame of eggs to give this colony. So that's what I'm in the process of now, finding a frame of eggs to give this colony. Went down here to this colony. Brood pattern looked really good, about the same thing. Very few eggs. They're pretty much at the larva stage now. So I keep searching. I'm gonna find this nuke right here, some eggs, so they can raise their own queen. I think what I'm gonna do is hop over here to this nuke right here, this first one, and check it out. Hopefully they've got some eggs I can stick right in there. But I wanted to point out, if you're going through your colony and you only see drone brood, there's a serious problem, folks. Don't wait to take action or you'll lose that colony. Alright, so I'll smoke the entrance and we'll get in there and see if we can find a frame of eggs. Nice looking lower box on the nuke. Nice population of bees poking up through there. Let me get you a little bit better view here, folks. I think we'll probably be able to find a frame of eggs here. Let's hope. Sure like to save that colony. Another option would be to give them a mated queen, but as I've already stated, my mated queens are spoken for, so I gotta take care of my customers before I take care of my own needs. Like I said, there's a great nectar source right now. The wild cherries, they're in full bloom. That's got eggs, larvae. Yeah, that's the frame right there we need. So now, to find our queen, which happens to be right here at the tip of my thumb. See her? She's a beauty. So I think what I want to do is go ahead and mark her real quick while I've got her here. So we'll lay this frame down gently. And let me grab my queen marking cage. So this is a marking cage I made years ago, and I've got a video on it. You just use a pill bottle and a dowel rod and a little piece of sponge. It's worked out fabulous for me. And I prefer this rather than picking them up, just because there's too many chances of risk by squeezing the queen and picking her up. Some people say grab her by her wings, some say grab her by her legs, some people say grab her by her thorax. You can't ever please everybody. So I found if I take this, stick it right in front of the queen or close to her, and take my finger, usually I can encourage her. I don't want the workers. And kind of coax her right up and in, just like so. Put the top back on. Now one thing, pretty important is you want to make sure that this stick is pulled all the way out when you put the lid on versus being all the way in and screwing the lid on and squishing your queen at the top. So what we'll do now is use this little dowel rod, push the queen up to the top, and when you know she's upside down, I need her to be on the sponge, not on this fabric where I can see her toenails. You're not painting toenails. Come on. Okay. You get her down on that sponge, you get her to walk around. Okay, now I've got her in position. I'm going to use white just because this will be a customer's nuke and not all of my customers can see certain colors, so let her get just in the right spot there. Right there looks pretty good. And we'll move her down from the top, give her a room to breathe and move around, and we'll set this off to the side while the paint dries. So now I know where my queen is. I know she's not on this frame, so I could probably take this frame right over and stick in the other colony and give the bees the resources they need. And now the queen should be dried and ready to release. And let's see here. There she went. She fell right down in between the frames, just like I wanted. You gotta be careful because sometimes she'll try and take flight. So you want to make sure that when you turn that canister upside down, she's contained to only go down. There, we'll stick that on top now. Inner cover, outer lid, brick. Now let's go over here and give these bees the resources they need to raise a happy queen, healthy queen, happy, healthy queen. Okay, so we've got our frame sitting here that we're going to give them. The other frame is the frame I took out, so let's open it up here. I'll give you a view from the top to show you the population. There's a decent amount of bees in there. I'm not going to say there's not. The problem is it's all drone brood, and I'll show you that. There, I think you can see how all of these cells protrude outwards away from the comb. That is drone brood, folks. If that's all your colony has, it's on its way to failure for sure. We'll stick this back in there. I got 2 frames that look just like that, so very discouraging. Definitely not something you want to see when you're making hive inspections. So what I'm going to do is introduce this frame, which has eggs. I don't know if you can see them in there. Has some larvae. I flip it around to the other side. It's the exact same. We've got some eggs, we've got some larvae, and some capped brood. So they've got everything here they're going to need to raise a healthy queen. The colony just started roaring a little bit louder, their buzz noise, and that's because they can tell there is a different pheromone now in there. From that other frame, from another colony. So they'll settle down and eventually, hopefully, get to work to raising a new queen. And I'll have to come back and check this in a week, see how progress is going. So I think I started that at the right time. As you can see, we got a lot of sun back here. It's starting to get hot. So what kind of luck is that, that you check a couple colonies for queen cells and the last frame you pull is the one with the queen cells on it? I think they were trying to make me sweat a little bit. What do you think? Well, time will tell. We'll see if those queens emerge and get mated and the colonies do as I'm hoping. As for the other colony with the drone laying queen, they've got the resources now to raise a new queen. I guess in the next week or so I'll have to go back in there and see if they drew any of those cells out into queen cells. Let's hope. We'll keep an eye on it. Hey, look there, there's Ladybug. A little ladybug. We're taking a load off. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this week's video, make sure you smash the like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, make sure you subscribe and make sure you click on the little bell so you can be notified when those videos are released. And remember, pressing any of these buttons will give you warm, fuzzy feelings the rest of the day. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate the time you've taken today to watch this video, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for watching.